me that I can go as high as I can go. Told you a long time ago that I'm. Wait a minute. What? I should. Oh, you lucky I don't. Oh!
Well, we got it. I'll set up your one. Okay, but we're on. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Victorian Ultimate Championships, Southern Regionals evenly. My name is Andy Moroney, and today we have the top flight heads of state team called Juggernaut playing the top flight Ellipsis team. This is an anticipated top of the table, if not near top of the table clash. Chile also in the mix, impressive yesterday on our stream, but not too many people would be surprised if this was the final. So we're in for a real treat first, seeing both teams very loud, very fired up. So the flip has been done. It'll be heads of state to the left of your screen, pulling to Ellipsis. And we are away. The pull is a good one, right down the middle. Looks to Tullett. They run out of a vert. Tullett, nice little undergainer. Looks to reset. Tom has to do a little shake and bake. Gets free. Goes a nice big around backhand. I think that's McGuckin with a bit of a trim. Goes the high one. Loughnan back to Tullett. Tullett sees Ely go, doesn't like it. So looks to re-engage the dump. Dump gets covered. That's Rob getting covered. Max comes out from the stack, successful. Rob now to Max, moving a fair bit, move it smoothly. They've got it smoothly to their brick mark. Tom Tullett looks for the break flick, instead goes the open backhand. They just say have to lock our force down now, they do. McGuckin looks at Max. Heads of state run a switch. So heads of state a little bit of pressure here. Jake has a bid, but now he's on the ground, and so Ellipsis are able to run it in. Jake Wilson chose to take the bid. Unfortunately, it meant once he was on the ground, they were off to the races. And Ellipsis take first blood, 1-0. Reasonably smooth offense from Ellipsis for the first point. Managed to work it down pretty much past the brick mark without much challenge. Heads of state able to force a few repeat dumps after that, but I think they'd be pretty happy with that start. All right, so we'll see heads of state's first offensive set now. Looks like Barr, Calaviotis, McDonald, Castrogano, Della, Henriksen, and Phillip. And the first pull is a big one. And it will be Della. Della goes inside, break backhand. It was good though from Castrogano to reel it in. It was behind him. Looks outside to McDonald. McDonald goes a give and go, but doesn't go to Castrogano. Instead to Della. Della rocking some rude shades to go with the rude lid. And he puts a big backhand to 2-on-1, but McDonald, oh, he got hit.
Good, John. Unlucky.
I think it'll be an uncontested foul. You'd probably hope so. It will be uncontested. Yep. Yeah, foul, no contest. Fair enough. Well done. Not intentional contact there, but he did get a fair bit of him. And let's see if Heads State can use a bit of composure here. And they all fly past. Barr looks to get back to the easy dump. Calaviotis makes half a cut and then gets out. Instead stays there and Seb goes, don't move, I'll hit you on the break. Calaviotis with it, hits Macca on the open side, and just like that it is one apiece. So both teams getting it done relatively easily. Hoss a little more frantic early on, but no turns yet. Pretty clean. Of course, welcome wherever you are joining from around the country, around the world. We are streaming via the YouTubes, so if you'd like to get involved, please drop a comment, like, share, subscribe on the stream. Tell your friends. Shout out to all our Patreon backers. Couldn't do this stuff without you. It's fantastic. And a shout out to the good city of Bendigo. Turning it on, Mike. Not a cloud in the sky. 33 degrees. I mean, and Ultimate Victoria. I mean, they don't have anything to do with the weather, but take credit for it, I guess. But bringing a fantastic tournament. This field is like a snooker table. It's beautiful. And no real wind to talk of yet. So yesterday was pretty windy. You saw a couple of teams throwing on various zones, or at least transition zones. Not so much today, or at least not yet. Might get a little bit that way as the afternoon and the afternoon breeze comes in. But so far, I think we're going to see a lot of match. It'll be some quick transitions at best. All right, and we're away. And good pulls from both teams so far. Tullett moves it through. Nice flat gain, a big gainer. And it looks McGuckin, very, very cleanly shaved McGuckin back to Rob Andrew. Max Halden had a fair bit of it already. He's on the wing. He looks to engage the dump, steps around, have to give up a little bit of ground, back to Rob Andrew. Rob, again, doesn't, it looks like Lipsy aren't running a dump. Rob goes a scuba dooba. Maxie Halden, nice easy one. John O'Keys, then to Cupcake. Cupcake moves it up, and the flow is far too easy here. Max, big step around, could have thrown the break, didn't have anyone to go to. He looks for the hammer, that's not Max. It's instead swung to Tom Tullett. He's got no mark, it comes now. And Max Halden, that was probably the dodgiest part of that point, was Max just needing to reach back, reach around a little bit and grab that disc. Everything else was pretty smooth. Max was probably open 3 or 4 times there before Tom said, I might just throw it behind you. Everyone's still asleep. If anyone wants to let us know that they're there on the chat, pop a flare, say hello. We know it's early. Mike knows it's early. He was here an hour before me. But Ellipsis showing a lot of nice flow. No real high stall counts to speak of. Ah, yes. If you are joining us from the Northern Hemisphere, please give us a shout out as well. 10 p.m, lovely. Yep, sit down with a little Negroni or a hot chocolate or something. Snuggle in.
Ready as it takes, Jogger!
All right. right, so on serve, no breaks, no turns. Let's see what we can do. Henriksen with the disc goes to Bar. And it does look like we're going to see the first transition here. Looks over to Della. Della's wide open. Oh, now for those who watched the Ellipsis game yesterday and watched Lucy Della, he might need a thing to learn from his sister because she was ripping absolute bombs from Hannah's. But here we go. They've moved it up to halfway and it looks like they have transition now. Tony Castrogano, he's unmarked, so he can keep going. Lachlan McDonald has it just past their brick mark now. So Ellipsis have set their defence a bit better now. McDonald goes with the break to Phillip. Phillip gives it a little bit of action. And nice work, a little bit smoother from Heads of State on that occasion. That one looked better than their first one, and I think it was as a result. It wasn't a bad transition zone, but in order for it to be a good transition zone, you need it needs to have everyone. So even if one person misses their assignment, that's where the flow can come from. In this case, it looked like it was Castrogano who had that. So that just kind of released all of the pressure and didn't enable Ellipsis to get much of a count. Aloha to Cam Lyon, the Alpha Architects, and Jarrod Kwan. This is not the final, Jarrod, but it might in fact be. And on cue, you can hear it now. A little bit of wind picking up. So we'll see if Tom Della does throw those hammers. He faked one. Remembered he wasn't his sister. Instead put away and threw a much more conservative throw. We're on serve. Pulls have been good. So we've had a request around the ex-outbreak players on Hoss. Good question. So Ben Palais and Dan Ferdy are two. I think there might be a third, as this one needs to work a little bit to come back in. It'll just come back in. There might be a third. I'll find out who that is. Apologies to that player. And this time, John O'Keefe has to have something to think about here. The count will be getting high, and they retreat. Moving all the way back. They're now back into the middle of the back of their end zone. Not too worried. John O'Keefe looks at Cupcake. Cupcake and Keys are just going to play it back to each other probably for 40% of this game, because this one is a junk now. Heads of State feeling that wind pop up, so they think it's worth having a look. McGuckin, look at it. Keys, he wants to go upstairs, doesn't. Moves it back. Rob Andrews has got his hand up next to the commentary position for a hammer, and they want to throw it soon. There's no one near him. Keesy's thinking about it. Rob's just putting his hand up like he's in a classroom. Excuse me, sir, can I have a hammer? He's saying. And now Cupcake's got it. He might throw it. Oh, he winds up instead. Throws a much more patient swing to Max Helen. Cuppers was able to make the whole Heads of State defence adjust there. Cuppers come up through the cup. That's a nice behind the cup pop. Now Rob Andrew finally gets it. Wasn't what he wanted or where he wanted, but it's here. John O'Keefe. And there's Heads of State are holding this one. Rob Andrew with the disc. Got Keesey back. Instead goes to Pete Ely's on the field. Didn't even see him there. Over. Okay, to Halden. This one sits up, gives it a bit of air, and Ben Palais, one of the ex-outbreak players we're talking about, gives us the first break of the game. And there are some free players. There are two poachers, but Heads of State do well. They just keep it chill. Palais. You can see Henriksen going. Most times that'd go. Gets it to Ferdy. This is his South Australian comrade. He throws it around to Michael Trong. Trong has Palais going. Palais grabs it in the Bunnings gloves. Lowest prices are just the beginning, Ben. He looks up. He goes upstairs, and that is not going to get it done. That's a double turn. I think he was trying to isolate Mikey Trong, but realised the count was too high, and he almost had to rush it. So Ellipsis have a chance to get it back. and keep things on serve. Halden looks to Cupcake. Sorry, Tullett. Tullett now has Keys wide out on this hammer. Instead, throws the sidearm to the near side. And now, Ely will let one go. Powley can't get through Keys. There's a little bit of chat. I think there's an uncontested foul. So everyone will go back to where they were when it was thrown. It'll be interesting to see if Heads of State or Juggernaut maintain their zone. I'm a betting man, and I reckon they're going to be going into a match. It does look like a match. And now Halden rips that hammer, and it works. That's a goal. Nice throw for Max. Usually expect to see him a bit more restrained, a bit more of the safe guy. But when it was on, it was Jono Keys, who had a good point there. He at the start of that point, needed to maintain the composure when they're in the back of the end zone. He also took that long grab, got a little bit of attention for it as well, and then caught the goal. So, good point from Jono. How many dingoes are on this team? That's a good question. Well, I can tell you there's one less than there should be because Tom Della is out there, and it is an unabridged tragedy that man is not going to be repping green and gold. Don't know what he has done wrong to someone in a past life, or maybe even the selectors, but it just beggars belief. But anyway, good vibes only. I think we'd have at least half a dozen. I'll get specific numbers. I think you've got some who dingoes worthy but not playing, like a Seb Barr, and then us plus a couple of debutants as well. So we'll come back to you on that. In the meantime, the man himself, Tom Della, maybe he didn't get on the team because of those that shade and haircut, and that would be fair enough. Heads of State. Castrigano, Barr uses some width in the field to go to Della to Castrigano. So Heads of State on both occasions have been able to move through this transition zone to the midfield without much struggle, but now Ellipsis locked down in their match. Della, and again, 1 free, and this time it's Castrigano, and he shoots to a wide open McDonald. So again, the transitions work if everyone plays their role, but if you get 1 or 2 people out of position, you'll have 2 people free, and in this case, it was the Ballarat connection, or the Bacchus Marsh to Castlemaine connection, Castrigano to McDonald. See, no mark there, so he has every chance to put it either side. Is Ellipsis concerned that Hoss will try to sneak the better Della onto the field? Well, it's a good question, but the better Della's playing for Ellipsis, so they might just bring her on for a cameo, see if they can nullify each other out. So, apart from one double turn, it's been very clean offense so far, 3 apiece. Shout out to everyone waking up on the feed. Shout out to Jane Squires watching on the feed. Love your input. Also to Sue Hardy, Sue Hardy. Go Lippy. All right, so that wind is starting to creep up, so wouldn't be surprised if we continued to see a couple of little transitions here and there, but you've got to say, more through breakdown than anything. It hasn't been working. Here's a nice big pull. This will be an outside in. It'll land just inside the cone and then roll out. Oh, Jono just jukes it. That'll be Australian cricket team worthy. Nicely fielded. Rob Andrew looks to Jono Keys. Jono gets the give and go. Looks like they're forcing either return or middle. And Jono, an excellent bid. That one was dying hard. He was able to reel it in. That looked gone for all money. McGuckin goes to Rob Andrew. Rob Andrew out to Jono Keys, probably putting in an early case for MVP of this game. He will be if he can complete this big, wide backhand goal. Jono Keys absolutely having a day. Beautiful throw, finishing off a good point. Jono keeping it alive, and then a couple of throws later, letting one go. Jono Keys, I would imagine he's a dingo. I think that's a fair assumption. Originally out of, I think, Townsville. Well, we played with Crank. Hit us up on the feed if you're part of Jono's OG crew. Been an import to Ellipsis this year, I believe. We're on serve, 4-3 is the score. Only 2 turns in that 1 point. Apart from that, it's been pretty clean. All right. We're going to see this one go up. This one's a big pull outside in. Is it going to come back? It will just. Bar takes it, goes to Castrigano. Castrigano. Henriksen was there, the cut wasn't that strong, so he's turned it into a deep. Instead, now engages the dump. Seb Bar goes up the line, gets it without issue. Seb has one, he has a look. It's going to be a backhand, it'll be again a 2-on-1, but Joshi has to sit. Gets a hand to it, but it bobs out to Tom Della, who was there for Toffa for the goal. So I think there was a brief chat because there was a call. I think Joshi said Philip thought he had been fouled, but given it ricocheted through to Della. It's a nice cut. Probably just set up a tiny bit. Tom Della there for the scraps. So we're 4-all, we're on serve. In terms of the conditions, I've mentioned the wind's starting to kick up a little bit. The field's nice, it's just a little bit dewy, so just a bit dewy underfoot. So players shouldn't have too much trouble, but yeah, they do have to just watch out for the dew. Just a little bit of slipping. Maybe that's why a couple of discs have slipped out as well. We've seen a couple. I think one on a foul call. And one just there from Joshi where he actually got his hand to it, but just slipped out. But overall, that'll burn off in the next 10, 15 minutes, you'd imagine. So we are in for a real treat of a game. Almost a false start. Paddy Thorpe with the disc. He goes the outside in. Pulls have been really good thus far. This one coming in hot. Does get a little bit of that moisture off the ground. Tell it with the Bunnings Warehouse gloves. He'll go it off. Tom goes for a big inside backhand, but flick, sorry. Ollie Launen. Launen looks at Jono. Jono retreats to ground to Cupcake, but he makes it up by going to Rob, and it looks like Jugger of transition. Cupcake with it. Holds. Goes up the line. He has to go a big break back round, and there's a stall called. There's a stall called. It looked like Tom had one last shot on that backhand. Powley gave everything to stop it, and after he stopped it, he was pretty much straight into saying stall. So I'm not sure. It'll be a contested. Okay, so a little bit of chip. Now it's getting a little bit chippy. These two teams have a little bit of history. We're apparently, from the audio, there was a very fast count, so gets it back off, and they've restarted now. So let's enjoy Powley and Cupcake for the rest of the day. They'll have a bit between their teeth. Cupcake standing deep with Powley now, but for the disc, it's at midfield. Rob looks back, goes to McGuckin. McGuckin, big wide swing to Halden, playing well so far. Halden fakes the flick, instead goes inside to you-know-who, John O'Keys. John O, flat one. Tony thinks about a bid, doesn't. Looks to McGuckin. McGuckin goes to the flick, instead engages the dump. Rob Andrew playing conservatively as the dump, and there'll be a pick call. Now a little bit of pressure coming. The wind's kicking up a bit. Oni Lowen goes up the line. Does enough. Huh? Oli Lowen, a nice little cut up the line. Not a lot of space. Had to be pinpoint, it was. All right, we'll call a timeout. All on serve. Actually, no, I think that was a break, wasn't it? Was that a break, Mike? I don't think it was. 5-4. We're on serve. Don't worry about me. All right, so we'll take a short break, listen to the timeout, see, hear the messages out of the circle. Maybe have a chat to Ben.
Just quickly, Mozza, I just put a clock on that stall count. It was about 7.8 seconds, so that's pretty standard. About 8 seconds is 10 seconds in ultimate. So
right, okay, not too bad then.
Should be 1 Mississippi, 2. That's not how it goes.
No. Not unless you're playing social league for the first time.
Just call fast count on stall 8, right?
That's right. I think that's what he did.
Cool. All right, back in a sec.
Shortly.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
All right, welcome back. Coming out of the timeout, we remain on serve 5-4. Head state calling one just to talk it over. No major changes. It's about keeping it light and breezy. Similarly for the Ellipsis team. So this one will roll out the back. Just. Pulls have been very good. Mikey Trong getting attention for his mullet. Looking good on the thread, on the string. And Seb Barr goes with the early break backhand. Castrigano has to work for it, but gets it without too much issue. He goes back to Barr. Barr sees Khalid Blue. Khalid throws an unconvincing flick. But he's a lefty, so we'll allow that. Goes to Tom Della. Tom Della has those eyes up, but there's a pick call, but it doesn't matter because it was too much for Henriksen. And now Ellipsis have their shot to put this break in. Okay. Keys goes up the line. Cupcake without an option. Now gets one. Cupcake getting the around backhand. Goes to, I believe that's Lounen. Lounen. Nice grab by Cuppers. Has to get a full stretch. And now they're just running and gunning. Locked it down now. This one. Cuppers doesn't have to work as hard. But the throw and go straight away is lightning. He gets open in the corner. And that is a goal. And that's a break. And a nice bit of spike action from Cuppers too. They get the break, 6-4. That handler movement just rapid from Ellipsis. As soon as they've got it, they're gone again. GC. Yeah, he needed to go for that one. Cupcake every now, Tullett every now and again might bid for one that he probably could have run onto, but I don't think that was the case on that one. He had one shot at that, and here we go. Just takes half a step, gets Carlip off his balance. Was able to take the grab just inside the line too. In terms of players playing Savage so far, for those new to the stream, Savage means we basically don't take any points off. It does look like the teams are running offensive and defensive lines. However, as you can probably hear, players like Tullett, Keys, Andrew from Ellipsis, and almost McGuckin. And even Halden too, actually, seems to be getting on a fair bit. And you're seeing Barr, Della, Castrigano, and McDonald on more often than not from heads of state as well. All right, so this will be an upwind pull. So this one won't go as far, but it's not too bad. It'll just about make the brick mark, thereabouts. It looks like they're going straight down in match, but it is a bit poachy downfield. So it looks like the players are going to mark the cutters as they come out of the stack. So Heads of State happy to bunt it around. Seb's not. Seb's seen enough. He goes up. Oh, and a really nice grab from Phillip. That was coming in hot. Now he's got work to do. Gets to Evans. Ash Evans. It's a bit messy from Heads of State. Castrigano's wide open and eventually he finds him. Would have been an 8 or 9 count. Seb Barr, that's his second time shooting for Phillip. Both completed, one completed on a call. Actually, sorry, no, that one was ricocheted to Della, so Seb will definitely take that. But yeah, very clearly a plan between those two. And a nice grab from Phillip. As I said, that one was coming in hot. .65 the score. Head to state maintain half a touch point. And we see it going up. Nice pull once again. And John O'Keys back with Cupcake. A little bit stagnant up this end, but Max Halden once again keeps the flow going. John O'Keys gets his head up instead, throws a short one back to Tullett. Tullett has Keys wide open, so head to state, happy to let that one go. Ely's out here on a wing, does have separation, they elect not to use him. They do continue to have Ely. And now a couple of shoots anyway further afield, and that's to McGuckin. That was nice spacing from Rob Andrew. He pulled Pat Thorpe really deep, so McGuckin had plenty of space. And now Lippy are here, and they're through, and they're up to the halfway point now. Pressure released, and it looks like heads a state of transition. Cupcake keep continuing to get that break out, which is just crushing any chance heads a state have of building the pressure. And again from Keys. That one's out. Nice throw out the hand. It looked like he'd beaten 30 hands down on the break, but it just went around. Oh, they've called it a goal. My mistake, sorry. Oh, it was a goal. Everyone's hands are up. All right, so Lippy keep a little bit of separation. It's 7-5. If they break, they'll get to half 8-5. So pretty important one for Hoss in the context of this game. Pool goes up. Ellipsis offside. Don't worry about it. And Castrigano will catch, throw to Bar. And now Castrigano is off. Instead, comes back under McDonald, hits Castrigano. No one's going deep until Josh now, and then they all kind of bite. Toffanopoulos has work to do, grabs it inbounds. Really nice throw to centre it straight away. Bar's gone, Calaviotis is gone. Instead goes under to Henriksen. Henriksen wants to just take a breath, probably dump it off the line nice and early. He does. Throws a nice, safe, perfect round. Backhand to Tony. To McDonald, who's pretty much unmarked. Goes to Calaviotis. Calaviotis, so all 7 players have touched on this head to state O-line. Calaviotis gets that look in his eyes, puts it away. Henriksen, again, very safe. Tom Della looks for the break backhand. Phillip, he was the last one. Now all 7 have touched it. He's got it. Goes to McDonald. McDonald looks to Barr. Barr catches it on the end zone line, but there's going to be a pick call. So very frantic, but not at the cost of being unsafe from heads of state. Just really well-timed cuts. They're throwing on 1s and 2 counts. Very similar to what Ellipsis were doing in the first couple of points of their offensive game. Looks around to McDonald. McDonald, nice, easy around. Backhand lets out all the pressure to Della. Della looks to Henriksen. Henriksen looks to McDonald, and they've done it. They've maintained their offense, 6-7. And so now it's up to their D-line to put the big boy pants on and get some blocks. So 7-6, close as you can get. But Ellipsis do have their offense, so they will be coming out on O to close the first half. All right, here we go.
Let's go, Jugger!
They'll need to stop here, Jugger, otherwise Ellipsis will enjoy an 8-6 break into half. And they'll take that break advantage. I believe Heads of State would be coming out, or Juggernaut would be coming out on offense, but even if you trade from there, Ellipsis would win the game. So they're in a good position. They'll be in a better one at 8-6. Pretty reliable Ellipsis line. Healy, Halden, McGuckin, Andrew, Lounen, Cupcake, Tullett, sorry, and Keys. And it's Keys with it now. Keys goes upstairs, first hammer of the game, thought it would be earlier. Hits Ely. That's what he was begging for about a point ago. And this one, oh, it does work, but there's a little bit of contact, all unintentional. It's play on. Showed a lot of it. Ely showed a lot of it to a couple of players there. Now they're trying to scramble. McGuckin looks to Lounen. Lounen almost goes to McGuckin, instead goes to Tullett. A little skip step. And not a mark on him. He's probably not one you want to leave unmarked. Tommy goes to him now. Right on their end zone line. Keys, big inside break flick, and that is half. Jay Wilson showing too much of that inside to him, and Jono able to step out and throw a lovely inside break. So we will take a short break, have a listen to what both team huddles are saying, and hopefully come back with a second half of action as good as the first. Join us shortly. Oh, come on, mate. There are no microwaves.
One, two, three.
Hey, let's go! 3, 2, 1.
Good job, Mulder. Good one. Deep two, open the gonga, let's go.
Offline banter? Oh, yeah. There you go, problem solved. Sorry, Mum, I've got conjunctivitis. No, that was constipation. I've got polio.
Welcome back for the second half. You are watching top of the table clash, Ellipsis men versus Juggernaut. Both Victorian teams. Solid first half, trading for much of it. Ellipsis were able to get the edge. Converted a Juggernaut turnover. They're down one break. They will be coming out on O. But Ellipsis maintaining the advantage. A lot of love coming for the peak physical conditioning of a lot of these athletes, as well as for Mikey Trong's mullet, getting a little bit of attention on the string. Lots of love coming for it. Let's see if it can lift heads of lift Melbourne Juggernaut. And this one is right in the back corner. He'll walk it up to the cone, but a lovely pull. Really start building the pressure from the get-go. All right. And it'll be Barr coming in. Fakes the flick twice, throws a nice flat backhand to Phillip. Phillip wants to look inside for one. Lots of attention coming from the Ellipsis defence. Good so far. Tom Della gets the around flick. This one completes. That was the turnover that gave him the break last time. Not so this time. Tom Della has it, looks to McDonald. McDonald, Ely thinks about a bid, protects his mate. McDonald doesn't have a dump come back, but it's Castrogano now. Doesn't like the around flick. It now throws it to Della. Della stack a bit deep, so nothing really able to go deep. Phillip, but as long as they keep getting these early easy unders, they're going to be able to keep working it through. It's almost like they're forcing it into Phillip's hands, but he's happy to do that. He moves it outside to Macca. They're at the brick mark now. Macca goes low release, backhand again to Phillip. Gets a bit of attention. Doesn't matter because he throws the goal to Tom Della. That's what Melbourne Juggernaut wanted to see. First point out. Ellipsis did bring some really positive, intense defence for the first part of that point. Had them hemmed in against their own sideline. Heads of State using their legs to grind hard. Happy to hit any player on the field. Lachlan McDonald, two lovely low release backhands in that point. So they stay in touch, 9-8. No, 8-7. Getting ahead of himself. So now it will be, not only for this point, for the rest of this half, more a job for Heads of State, Melbourne Juggernauts defence. For those who are wondering why I'm making a meal of this, and I should know better, Heads of State is a club consisting of smaller teams. So if you hear of Heads of State, or you hear of Melbourne Carnage, Melbourne Phoenix, Melbourne Apocalypse, Melbourne Juggernaut, or Melbourne Colossus, I think there are 5. They are all teams that sit with under the Heads of State banner. Juggernaut, of course, being the top flight team. So think of them as interchangeable, just as you think of Tom Tullett and Cupcake. Same thing. This one is going to be Ben Powley, putting his disc golf skills to the test. And that's not a bad one. It rolls, and Heads of State working down to get down on the first pass, and they almost do. Moves out to McGuckin. McGuckin has a big option, throws a big backhand, doesn't like it, doesn't like the inside instead. Safe. Back to Tullett. Tullett, stop. Carlip shuts down Ely. Ely looks to go again. This time it's Jono Keys. Keys, he lets one go. A nice flat backhand. It's going to be Kelvin Dew on Max Halton. And I think Kelvin did just enough to worry Max out of it. I don't think he actually got a hand to it. Nice flat throw from Jono. He's having some kind of game. But yeah, I think Max felt Kelvin coming in quick, so he needed to slow down, and that just threw his vibe off a little bit. So now the real test will be whether Heads of State's defensive offense can get a break. So Trong goes to Carlip Lou. Carlip Lou to 30. 30's got one going, but uses discipline, gets under. Jono gets in the way, cuts off about 2 cuts from the stack. Kelvin Dew. Kelvin Dew has one. It's all a little bit frantic, but 30 grabs it back to Kelvin. Kelvin to Carlip. Carlip sees one going, elects not to throw it, goes safe instead. This is good patience, and now Powley has it. Powley has. Carlip Lou went long, didn't like it. Instead, now to 30. Now the cuts have dried up. Carlip had a bit of work to do because that one was coming in quick, and it bobbles out of his hands. And that's a missed opportunity for Heads of State. They were doing all the right things, being quite patient, not throwing a couple of those long throws. But for now, it's Tullett. Lovely around flick. There's a bid from Kelvin Dew, but it didn't come off. Rob Andrew over to McGuckin. McGuckin throwing the around, and be another bid, but this one again is safe. And it was Carlip Blue on that bid, but Pete Ely's the one with the grab. So even though there are bids coming out from Heads of State, which you love to see, it's the fact that those break throws are getting out and they're even having to do that. Imagine if those break throws aren't getting out, how much you could bid onto the open side, which is where you're supposed to be standing.
It's a fine line with some of them, isn't it? Because you want to get an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So being safe is awesome, but the more safe you are, the more potential for an error. So I wonder if Ferdy should have taken that early long shot.
Yeah,
There's a bit of separation, but maybe new to the team, coming from South Australia, you know.
Doesn't want to cop
let him
any
rip
daggers.
Ferdy when you're watching this back at Nationals. Just let him go, mate.
Yeah.
Don't worry about these guys.
Yeah, I thought when Powley had it as well, I think he doesn't need a second invitation. So
did he turn one over earlier on?
I don't.
Yeah, with the dump throw that floated.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so maybe he's a bit like, oh, I've got to be careful. But
Let's
that's the
just put it
pressure
away.
of defence, offence, isn't it, right? You really want to get it.
Yeah.
I bet he went the camera.
All right. If you're at the fields today and you feel like having a chat, drop by the desk. Sure, any and all views are welcome. Most views are welcome. Not Cron. You're busy, Cron. You're coaching, mate. Keep your head in the game. All right, so Ellipsis keep that separation 9-7 through some nice disciplined break throwing. And another big pull. This one's looking really good. Castrogano has to work to reel it in. He does, and he throws a flippy floppy backhand to Bar, back to Castrogano. Castrogano looks off Henriksen, instead goes back to Bar. Bar looking to Phillip. about 60 metres inside from where he'd want him to be cutting to. Gets to Henriksen now. Henriksen looks at the big backhand, thinks better of it. Phillips poached. Calaviotis, he looks up instead, really patient. Goes back. Henriksen goes back to Top, but Top's had his eyes closed. Henriksen saw that Calaviotis' man went to ground, so he went to hit him straight away. It was the right move, but Toff was already clearing. He was going long. Calamity for Heads of State's offense, and now a really big opportunity for Ellipsis to put a dagger in and make it 10-7. Lounen will be marked right on our sideline by McDonald. Shows a little bit of air to it. Safe for now, but now it goes. And Calaviotis will have a chance to atone for this and puts it right out the back into the car park. If that's your Corolla, I think you're just safe. So Heads of State will get another chance, but they'll have to do it all over again from the front of the end zone line. All right, it'll be Barr picking it up, running no dump offense. Castrigano goes out and now comes back and goes back again, but he's really well covered. Seb's going to have to throw this one on a short count. He does. Gets his bailout to Phillip. Phillip goes to Barr. Barr in power position, does nothing with it. The Ellipsis sideline have really ratcheted up their noise, and they're going to need to because Tom Dello has shot a long one, and the Ballarat boys are lining up for it. Castrigano and McDonald both cutting for that one. Most of the time in Ultimate, you'd say that's a mistake and you want to try and isolate your offense, but when it's those two, why not? A lot of positive sideline from Ellipsis' defensive supporters. It must be said, just a lovely put, to be honest. To a 2-on-2. Barr wanted it, thought better of it. Della with this much separation, nowhere near him, no one near him. Good put it. Beautifully weighted. And if McDonald wasn't going to catch that, I think Tony could have caught it with his teeth. So Heads of State, more positivity, but they're not going to get it done unless their defense can get the block and put it back in. And currently, Ellipsis' offense has been good enough, and on the rare occasion they have given it up, they've been able to get it back again. So familiar faces. They're running a pretty short O-line by the looks of things. It looks like Halden, Ely, Andrews, McGuckin, Cupcake, Tullett, Keys and Lounen. So I was a betting man, and I am. I reckon they're running one really small O-line and 2 D-lines. And this time Heads of State returning the offside favour. And this one will hang, so this will be a good one. They'll get down there on the first or second pass. First pass, if you don't mind. But Ellipsis doing well. I've already got it out of their end zone space. And again, Cupcake is off to the races. So lethal on that give and go. Looks, winds up a big backhand instead. Goes shorter to McGuckin. McGuckin in on the inside. Hemmed in now. Powley marking. Powley be sniffing a hand block here. Instead can't get one. Cupcake again getting up the line. That's really hurting Heads of State. Gets it to Halden just inside the line. He fakes around. They're working it down the line. They've got a whole field to work with if someone wants to remind them. But it's working for them now. This count's getting high. And that's a goal. I thought we heard a call, but I think it was just the dog barking. It's close quarters stuff, but Ellipsis still getting it done. Lovely up the line cut and throwing through the mark. That's how you do it. So 10-8. Ellipsis scoring, but also importantly, they're not leaving their offensive line out there too long. You've got to think of these games sometimes as a bit of a war of attrition, where it's not just about the amount of time or the amount of goals you have, it's the amount of time that you put that offense out on the field. You know, so if that same 7 have to run a 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute point where there are multiple turns, great, you're getting them tired for the next time. But if it's just, you know, kind of single offense Frisbee, they're done in about 45 seconds, they're back on the sideline, sitting down, chilling out, getting Gatorades, and that's going to put them in better stead when you do get to 13-10, 14-11, so forth. So if I was the Heads of State defensive coach, I'd be saying, don't necessarily worry about getting the block, just keep them out there. The longer you keep them out there, the more tired that they'll get. That's when you're going to start to see, especially at the final ends of this game, maybe things get a little bit tight. And we've got our first brick of the game. We might be getting our second disc of the game because that thing absolutely got tacoed. If Barr can find it from under a car. No, he's found it. Happy to play with it.
Yes, Ray. Here we are. Yes, Rayner. Same again.
Heads of State will be lining up in a traditional vertical stack, about a no-dump vert. So all the 6 players without the disc will be there, and this is Castrogano getting a nice easy break to start things off. Goes to McDonald. McDonald back to Barr. So the veterans getting it done for the time being. No one going deep, so Barr instead goes back to McDonald. McDonald into Henriksen, the first one in his 20s to touch a disc this point. And then Barr, nice flat open backhand. That's the way. Conversely, Ellipsis aren't going to be able to build any defensive pressure if those points only go for 30, 40 seconds. But that's what Heads of State are doing as well. There's a bit of chat on field. No, it's going to be a goal. It's going to be a goal. I think just a bit of discussion about how the game's played. Love to see it. Nine, 10. Ellipsis have the edge. So let's see if Heads of State can do a little bit of a better job keeping their Ellipsis' offensive unit out there. Ellipsis have been clinical so far. Tom Tullett, his throws and goes, just keeping that offense moving, and then you throw in some of the breaks that he's been able to let go. It's making it life really difficult for Heads of State downfield as well. A couple of hucks this game, not as many as I thought, to be honest. So if you'd like to see more, jump in the chat and I'll pass the messages on. All right. Here we go. Another big pull from Paolo. This time he goes the inside out to try and put some hang and give his defenders a chance to get down for the first pass. They won't because Keys is there, ready, waiting. Hits Tullett. And this time they've gone back to the zone to try and change things up a bit again. Maybe just try and keep that Ellipsis offense out there a little bit longer. They retreat ground a little bit. They're going to pause because there's another disc on the field. Okay, you can hear maybe through the mics, Tullett, even when he doesn't have the disc, he's running the offense, wants to see some poppers come through. Tom, you're getting every second pass anyway, mate, so I'm not sure what the point is. Tullett over to Keys. Keys puts a little bit of air under it, but over to Rob Andrew. Rob Andrew has to think about it. Goes to Halden, to Andrew. Andrew to Keys. Keys lets a big one go. This is the wing. McGuckin, and now they're out. And it looks like there's going to be a transition. So Halden has it, looks to Tullett. Now there's one going long. John O'Keys. Oh, I thought he threw it. Moves it to Rob Andrew. Andrews. Nice flat around flick. These two throw that to each other so well. Tullett looking on the inside, wants to go around, goes high release to Ely. Ely doesn't like the continuation. Is he going to go? No, he goes a little short one to Keys. Keys fakes the hammer. He wants to bring Tom around. Instead, a nice flat gain in McGuckin. McGuckin, that's the third hammer fake so far. So Heads of State have him hemmed in here, but again, Tullett's backhand just releasing all that pressure. They run a switch. He's going to put one up high. That is textbook. That's perfect. And once again, good amount of Heads of State pressure just getting released like air out of a balloon as soon as Cupcake can get that backhand break off. And we've got a timeout called. The score is 11-9. We will take a break shortly, have a listen to what the huddles are saying, and then hopefully maybe even grab a player or two as we come back for the final stages of this match between Melbourne Ellipsis and the Melbourne Juggernaut. Yeah, probably not what I would have done, anyway.
Okay, I see the point though. Yeah.
It actually says 10 bucks.
But everything
All right, and we're right back in. And that's Pat Thorpe picking up. I think they've moved him across. And Castrigano and Pat Thorpe's still going, but he's a little bit too deep now. But confusion between Calaviotis and Barr. They're still sitting in there. Instead, he goes top of the stack, a high one. Della sees one long. Unbelievable restraint from Della so far today. Maybe that was the feedback the Dingoes gave him when they cut him when they shouldn't have. Calaviotis, he gets one, throws a low one, it does enough. Going to McDonald. McDonald at midfield now. Again hits Della. Della goes the around backy. Calaviotis comes out, safe enough cut, but he's dropped it. He almost half tripped a little bit and just dropped one when he needed to take it. Tullett walks over to the disc. He must not have known it was there because usually if he sees one, he's picking it up. Instead goes to Lounen. Keys goes up the line, makes a bigger round cut to create a little bit of space, and Cupcake is feeding off that right away. So clearly a set play from the handlers to gain probably 40 metres just off an ignition play. That's not bad. This one sits up, and Della's going to grab it. That's another D. Take note. And then he's going to send one to Castrigano. He's going to have to bid. He does bid, and he's got it. They have to finish it off, and he does, Seb Barr. And they love it. Off a massive grab from Castrigano to keep the game alive. Wind starting to cause a little bit of issue. I think it was Tullett's throw. Just caught a little bit too much air. Popped out of the hand of the dump. Cleaned up by Tom Della. He sent one. That one was dying quickly in the air, and Castrigano grabbed it. So you see that pops up. And TCAS head down 4 or 5 good steps, gets separation from his opponent, and then a full stretch layout on a dying disc. That's hard. And needs to finish the job, Seb, going hard side of the cone. Wanted to go the big spike, but then decided he was better than that. And I don't know if we've got a timeout, but Mike, I don't know if you can see, but everyone at midfield for Ellipsis right now. Heads of state more traditionally on their line. I think it is a timeout. Oh, we do have a timeout. That was one of the quietest timeouts I'd ever heard.
Yeah, well, that's really strange. It's nearly time cap. You're a couple of points. Well, there's time cap now.
And
strange.
They did it the first time.
And they had another one just before.
Yeah,
that
so they've called 2 times out. Yeah.
I was given Ellipsis credit for the amazing timeout timing to kill the
it's
clock.
strategic.
Right?
No, give Hoss credit for putting timeouts against their advantage. I think that's probably more what they've done twice now. But anyway, they're backing themselves in. I like it. That's the Hoss way. Don't do it the easy way. Yeah. Strange decision. 11-9. Mike, what happens from here?
Ellipsis win, mate. That's probably. I can't imagine we're going to get 2 breaks back when they. Have they even got one back? They got one back.
They did.
Got broken immediately.
It is 10-11 now.
Is it?
Yeah. 10-11 now, I believe.
Did I miss the last one?
I think that last one there.
Yep. Yeah. I was too excited. It was such a good layout.
It was a very nice layout.
Let me go fix that up.
Yep. So they still need to get a break, or 2 breaks really. It's going to be their defensive unit that'll get it done. However, I fully expect we'll start to see some lines getting blended here, and that is the case. Tom Della is on. Castrigano is on. They are both coming across from the O-line. All right, as we enter the closing stage of this game, there have been a couple of requests on the feed for more hammers. The dying stages, that's when you want to see it. Unless you're Jono Holmes and Tim Lavis circa, what was that, 2012? Too soon? Probably still too soon. Sorry, both. Threw away the gold medal against the US. Haven't been close ever since. All right, back live. Rob Andrew. Looks to Jono. Jono, back to Andrews. He gives a little shake and bake through, gets through the cup nicely. McGuckin over to Max Halden. Had a pretty good game, pretty safe game. So far, I think maybe one turnover. He's been doing well. Jono Holmes will be up there with best on today. Keys, Jono Keys, sorry. Great company. Over to Ely. Looking to Rob. Half a sniff to the midfield, but doesn't get there, and they're through now. They're out. I don't know if they're going to have to run and match now. I think they do. They adjust. Really nice throw and go from John O'Keys. And Heads of State have it finally adjusted now, but there are still 3 players. They're going to work it right up to their end zone line. This one gets shot, but it's going to get cleaned up. Unfortunate for Heads of State because that throw was not to the intended receiver. But you've got to be in the right place at the right time. So it's 12-10, game to 13, I believe. Yeah, that one was behind Peely, but didn't stop him from celebrating right away. Interesting strategy, Pete. I mean, we've got the replay here. So I'm shortly going to be joined by Ultimate Royalty, the Jordan of our time, in his very own Last Dance series set to come out later this year. Tom, we had a question earlier on about how many dingoes were in this game. Now, given that they're your teammates, and you'd of course know all their names.
Of course.
How many are out here?
Glad to be. So I haven't done the count. I know we've got Tronga and TCAS from Hoss. Both absolute running machines. Units, and can't wait to play with them. And Lippy has, I think, well, Bill's not playing, so Bill Foreman's out here. John O'Keys has come across from Wollongong. Traditional Ellipsis, man for disc. Ollie's got the cap on this year. And then the big 3 where you've got Rob, Cuppers and Sam. So 5 on Lippy by that count.
5 on Lippy, so, and 3, because Tom Della.
For Mondays, yes. Sorry. Tom Della.
Yeah, Tom Della. Oh, no, actually didn't make it. No, he didn't.
No,
yeah,
he should have. He should have. If you ask me, he should have. He should have. But selection's hard, and
that's it.
Matter of opinion.
It's a hard job. It's a hard job. Someone's got to do it, and then someone's got to ridicule him. What do you reckon here, Tom? 10-12. Would you have the edge?
Listen, it's easy always to win on D sometimes. I know that sounds ironic, but put it in here, and then let's see if Ellipsis offense. But you got to score this one first. Strong looking line.
Barr and McDonald getting it done. Of course, former Dingoes themselves.
Correct.
And there's the first hammer. We had a request on the feed, Tom, for more hammers.
Pretty windy out here.
Starting to kick up, isn't it?
Yeah, not an easy option, but to an open player, definitely on. And if everyone can throw it, it's Tom Della.
And Ellipsis haven't really thrown. I noticed you just got here. They haven't really thrown too many zones that they've kept on, so this one they're actually holding to at least midfield. But that said, Hoss haven't really broken through it.
Yeah, they're not panicking though, very calm, patient. There's no pressure on the disc. This is just waiting for them to do something silly. At the moment, there's no pressure really. They're just working it up slowly.
Yeah, they're continuing those cuts from behind.
I'd like to see Della upfield though. They need that upfield option. That's the problem. He's perfectly good there, but you could put Sebi back and Della as a receiver. Just lengthens the field a bit.
They're almost up to their own brick mark now.
Seb on the left. No, it doesn't hit him.
Not doing anything fancy, as Tom said.
Matt Daly doing a good job of marking 2 in the deep there. That's sort of tougher, but that's that one where, if you look at the screen, throwing away from the viewers is where the wind is a bit sitting up. So trying to throw away from the camera is where it's going to be held up a little bit.
Now Heads of State at a really aggressive point. And they're going to throw to Seb, looks to Della.
The old man of the sea, Seb Barr. Thanks for coming.
Tommy, taking your expert opinion, putting Della deep, stretching as a bit of a deep option to then stream under. So
the other thing is, he's got such a good tank, Della, that, we all like sitting back behind this morning. I know it's ironic me telling Della to go along, but he's got such a good tank. Where to use him. But done the job. So what, 2-point D run. And this is where Lippy. Now, this is the question. What do you do as a D-line here, Moroney? Because you could try to slow it down by putting in a zone, but the pressure, or do you just go match and back your athletes to try to block?
Well, so far, Lippy have been crushing Heads of State's defence have just left it in rubbles through like some really early handler separation. Like they've almost got this pull reception play, but it doesn't involve the cutters. And they're easily gaining like 30 metres just on that pull reception play. So I'd probably stop it with at least a transition jump.
Agree. I think that's smart. We played them yesterday and played mostly match, and they tend to go to one sideline and regardless of a force, just play up that sideline. But they do it with good effect and for a lot of isolation. It is tough to stop, but I guess that's the beauty of Ultimate. Good offence usually beats good defence, but you just need a moment of brilliance. So they've got a pretty strong line there, Lippy. They're looking to close it out straight away.
It looks like Ely, Cupcake, Tullett, Andrews, McGuckin, Halden, Keys. John Keys is, again, I don't know how long he's been here. He's probably been best on.
He is by clear the next rising star of Australian Ultimate. As I said, at Dingo as well, and played under 24, so very young. I love watching his instinct on the field. He's got really good defensive awareness, but he's got all the tricks.
I'm not seeing the man smile.
He's got a bit of a junkyard dog. Take the boy out of Wollongong, Cuck, take the Wollongong. But I like that about him. I used to enjoy sparring with you, mate, and I reckon you'd enjoy matching up on him. You'd have a few words to say, I'm sure.
Fantastic. All right, let's see if we can get it done. The man himself, Keys.
Cuppers, that little look at the disc, he loves that.
It looks like Heads of State have gone down in a match.
Had a look, Again, Cuppers to Rob to Sam. They're really looking through that primary line. If they can use that to their advantage.
Bid.
Good,
it's up.
Oh, that's low. And
so now the focus will become, can Heads of State's defence put it in? And they can't.
Cupcake just comes across.
Anticipated it really well.
That's experience coming through. Just saw that play before the thrower saw it.
And that's been the story.
And now it's going into overdrive.
It's gone. This one's got to go.
Good call. Della and McGuckin. Just had enough. That hit Sam's hand.
I don't know if Tommy hit it,
No, I think he got his hand to it, but good pressure. That was a good contest.
Absolutely would have caught it without Tommy on his hand.
He wouldn't have had to go that hard. So great chase down by Della. He had separation, Sam. He's a fast guy. Just had to slow down.
But back to your point earlier, I mean, that's the difference in Heads of State's defensive offense. Haven't been able to put it in, and that's because you've got these wily people like Cuppers who saw that play coming and was able to actually get a D from behind the disc.
Definitely. You mentioned Dingo's matchup. Trunger on John O'Keefe at the one here. No dump. Interesting structure here. No dump. So
they're running like a 6 play, nice. Split points decision. Trunger got it, but it was out the break side.
That was off. No one's helping. No, he's turned back around. He had separation. But
high count. This one's got to go.
Ben Powley, he's a Barramundi, and it's up. It's a Macca. I'll back Macca here. That's a chest mark. That's. Oh, you did it. There you go.
One.
This is what the crowd came to see. Maroney hard in sleeve. He's got it. I would have gone, you little beauty. That's a great catch from his old teammate. Maroney's got his bit invested in this one, are you, mate?
Impartial, Tom.
Yes,
doing my best to be very impartial.
As always. Well, look,
killing me.
Hoss is, look, as I said, it's very difficult to win on offense. It's all mental, right? Any other day, you walk that in. Just when you know it's for the game. And this is really possibly, I mean, I don't want to get, but possibly for this one seeding here you're looking for. Ellipsis won Nationals last year, of course. They'd want to go back in as number 1 seed. Hoss wins this, and if all goes to seed, they could pinch the number 1 seed at Nationals. That's the beauty of it. So a little bit to play for here, and pride.
Yeah, a little bit. And these teams, even when they're scrimmaging, there's enough fire in the game. So you put something like that on the board, and I think we're in for a good last point. It's probably the windiest it's been all morning, the wind coming towards us. How does your mob fit into this? Because you'd be, I called this a top of the table clash, but I did give your mob credit. I said Chile are thereabouts as well. How are you seeing it?
Yeah. Look, I mean, everyone goes in 0-0 into the round robin now. You've got to come top 3 to qualify. So that's Chile's goal after sort of not quite getting there last year. But we had a universe game against Lippy, so if that showed anything, we're in the conversation, but we've got to play them again today and Hoss. So ask me at the end of the day and I'll let you know where we're at, but qualification is the goal.
So you got Lippy and Hoss in Bendigo in 33 degrees. I'll bring you a beer when I'm asking
we're playing Hoss straight after this, so I'm hoping Sebi's used all his nitros. Very similar lineups here back to this game. I mean, This is the problem when the going gets tough. They just shorten their lines. Both teams, I guess.
Yeah. Ellipsis have been running pretty much a 7-player O.
Seb and TCAS brought on, I think, for the upwind offence to get a bit more throwing and running.
Yeah,
almost exactly the same line on Ollie's been brought on for Lippy. Here we go. Sam goes deep. Now it's a lot of space between the cutters and the throwers.
Good gainer.
Yeah, very quick. Very quick, Sam. Rob puts it up. Here we go. And that's out of bounds.
Oh, they're going to get a go. They're going to have a shot at it.
I mentioned the wind was coming towards screen.
Yeah.
On a calm day, that's a beautiful outside end, but you have to throw that a little bit more bladey with that wind just fighting him. But here we go. Hoss has the disc, so no team. Everyone's had a little crack at it. We love this situation.
Yeah. But like you're saying, Tom, it's the wind's coming towards us and slightly into Della's face.
Tough
so that's
corner.
probably the
Tough
worst
corner is. They've got to get off the line here. It's a travel straight away, and Sam knows it too.
Jono's bear hugging Tronga on the dump.
As I said, a bit of mungle from Wollongong. He's just saying, "What are you doing for dinner tonight?"
I love that.
Tommy's
going to jack
All
right.
That's going to be out of bounds, Andrew.
Sebo, get to the line. Sideline.
I did call it out of bounds. That's an early call. I know how to read a disc. Jono quick to get it in.
Gives him one.
They've got to get off this sideline. This is the problem. Both teams are playing into the wind sideline. And TCAS, yes, that's great defence. Right on him. Oh, Jono, that's not a foul. I hate to say it. We're just going to have a talk about it. There's two dingoes, good teammates. They'll have a bit of a chat. Looked like a fair contest. Here's the replay. Yeah, look. Let them talk it out. Self-refereed, of course. High level, lot at stake.
Yeah, retracted foul, Tommy.
Retracted, yeah. Good. That's what you want. You want them to think about it. I didn't think that was a foul, Maroney, but
I think he knew as soon as he called it, but he just needed a moment to have a chat.
Good. Here we go, another try. And this time they got it more central and halfway up. It's Seb, very safe pair of hands. Off the Tronga.
One's gone, not coming.
Seb, well marked by Ollie. The swing is on Dallas. Really well on the backcourt, but I'd really love to see him catch a goal. Great inside out flick. Maka will give it back. There's Powley. Dallas everywhere at the moment. Sam's got to clamp down on him. There's the hammer. 2. TCAS catches. Hoss win. Big comeback on D. Maroney, easy to win on D. I called it. Special comments. Thanks for coming.
You did say that. In fact, everything changed when you joined, so you're welcome to stay here all day.
Very rare, but I'm on Hoss's side. I just want to see a good contest. Brilliant for Victorian Ultimate to see such a good contest from two teams that are going to be absolutely in the semi-final conversation at Nationals. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, like you said, if your mob's taken Lippy to double game point, we've got the same here. I think we're in for a real treat of a day. You've got a long day ahead of you by the looks of it.
Oh, look, long days are good. You know, we play test matches, not 2020 and Ultimate, but no, it wasn't too warm. There's a bit of breeze here, I think. Everyone talks about the heat. It wasn't that bad yesterday, but just this game, I think, really high level. I only sort of back end here, Maroney, but good contest. I think tactically trying to get it off that line would have worked a bit better. I think both teams will look at the footage and go, we want to shoot from the high side if they had their time again. But
yeah. Fantastic, mate. Well, we'll let you do your 3-minute warm-up or whatever you do. Thanks for joining us. All right.
Pleasure.
Celebrate Easter with over 80 family-friendly events at the Bendigo Easter Festival. Hunt for more than 85,000 Easter eggs and wander through the Rotary Market or walk along to live music. Experience the spectacular Awakening of the Dragon ceremony and the O'Brien Electrical and AC Torchlight Procession. And see Daigum Lung, the world's longest imperial dragon, in the Sheridan Homes Gala Parade. Visit our website for the full program of events.
ULTI.TV